Welcome back. Hurray for the Riff Raff.
1, 2, 3. My heart is a Blue Ridge mountain, and my head an overflowing fountain. Oh, my heart is a Blue Ridge mountain, but I never knew, never knew. Well, I woke up this morning and I saw a new day dawning. Oh, I woke up this morning, but I never knew, never knew. A song for his poor memory. It's the soul of man that can be, but I never knew. Well, I woke up this morning and I saw a new day dawning. Oh, I woke up this morning, but I never knew. Overflowing fountain. Oh, my heart is a Blue Ridge mountain, but I never knew. Well, I never knew. Never knew. Oh, I never knew. Never knew.
All right, hurray for the Riff Raff.
This next song is called LEVON'S Dream. Would you come back to my heart? Well, I don't know how to tell you. My tongue could never stop to sing a love song to her. So hard to love someone. In a world so cold and new. You try to hide your love away, but that's an awful hard thing to do.
Hurray for the Riff Raff in the Roadhouse, that song LEVON'S Dream, and the first song was Blue Ridge Mountain from the brand new record Small Town Heroes on ATO Records. It's good to have a Linda Lee Segura back in studio. It's been a long time, it's been months.
Yeah, it's good to be back on the West Coast.
Yeah. Congrats on the new album.
Thank you so much. We're pretty proud of it. We've been having a blast.
Yeah. LEVON'S Dream, what is that song about?
That's basically the most heartbroken song I could have written. I decided I was really going to go there. And so it's kind of like my Roy Orbison influenced song.
Yeah, it's a great song.
Thank you.
And Blue Ridge Mountain was the first song in that. You know, what I love about you, Linda Lee, is when you source old traditional music. And John Henry is in that song, and Blue Ridge Mountain, of course, you know, lots of history with that place.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I like to try to take old ideas like a character like John Henry and then to say something like his hands or like my hands, you know, to try to bridge the worlds, you know, bring characters like that into the modern day, into someone like me who I feel like you wouldn't quite expect me to play folk music since I'm a Puerto Rican from the Bronx, but to compare me and John Henry, it's a good example of what I love doing with songwriting.
You also do that with the song New San Francisco Bay Blues, which you kind of source a little bit that traditional song, but of course it's the new San Francisco Bay Blues, meaning your San Francisco Bay Blues. Yeah, I tried to, I love that song, you know, and that's such an upbeat kind of ragtime one that a lot of my friends have played for years, and I, sometimes when I have writer's block, I just like to take a line and see where it takes me. And I feel like that first lyric really brought me to a very feminine aspect of that type of scene. You know, it paints the scene and then I try to see what the character is going to do. Yeah, so. Fantastic. So there's a bit of a buzz going on. The show you played in Seattle was sold out. Everyone trying to get in. And so I guess I got to ask you, you know, the last time you were here, the album had not come out yet. And we were anticipating big things, and now big things are happening. Big shows, big buzz, people talking and writing about you. Is there a bit of a new paradigm in your world nowadays? Well, it's funny because for us, we're not really home very much. We've been traveling so much. So the way that we've experienced it is just having these awesome shows. You know, I feel like we're in a really great, inspiring place for a band where we get to go play in these cities and just the crowd is so excited and they're so supportive. I feel like it's been making me actually write a lot and just feel really supportive and feel like, wow, people like what we're doing. Let's keep doing it, you know? So it's been really positive. Yeah. You also have a real presence on stage, and your live show really, I think, affects people because you're able to stand and deliver. Well, thanks. And these songs, I think it really, you know, people can hear that and feel that. Well, thanks. Tell us about, you mentioned from the Bronx, and you left home at a very somewhat early age, and you just went traveling. I think you left at about age 17 from the Bronx, and you kind of took off and traveled around by how. Tell us about that decision and where you went and what that was all about. Well, I left, I think a couple of days after I turned 17. And it was really just coming from a place of feeling kind of stuck, feeling like I didn't really have any other options. I think of myself as a pretty ambitious person, but at the same time, school never really lined up with that ambition. So I felt like in New York City, it's so demanding and so competitive, and I kind of knew I would never thrive in that market, you know, in that type of world. So I just found myself surrounded by these travelers, these young artists and young explorers, really, and I just kind of went, okay, I want to go to the smallest town there is. I want to see what America's about. And I really always had this really romantic idea about what the rest of America was like. I think a lot of it came from The Wizard of Oz when I was little, just being like, whoa, Kansas, what is that place like? You know, I felt like growing up in New York City, it's definitely a fishbowl, you know. So I just really wanted to explore and see American cultures, and that's what brought me to folk music, really. When I went to the South, I just felt like all the culture just kind of knocked me down. It was so incredible. So. And then you ended up in New Orleans, which is where you live now. Yeah. New Orleans is a magical place for sure. And over the time you've been there, you've been absorbing all of the traditional, you know, sounds and music of New Orleans, I would imagine. Yeah, that's where I really learned how to play music, was in New Orleans on the street.
The musicians of New Orleans were just so welcoming to me, and they were so non-judgmental. They knew I was a beginner. They knew I didn't know how to play anything, and there would be these incredible jazz musicians. I would say, sure, we'll write out the chords and we'll let you sit in playing the banjo, just stuff like that really taught me a lot about songs, about old blues songs, old ragtime songs, old New Orleans jazz songs, which I think is such a great foundation,
Yeah. And then now you're traveling a lot and you think about home, which is New Orleans a lot. And I know that great song, Crash on the Highway, which is the song you wrote in a traffic jam, I think, in Germany we talked about last time. And you reminisce about the favorite bar, BJ's, on a Monday night.
Yeah, I love that bar. That bar, every Monday, BJ's has this great band that actually Casey McAllister is in, called King James and the Specialmen. And they play, old school New Orleans R&B. You can go there and, hear some good old Fats Domino and just stuff, a whole other genre of New Orleans music that is so incredible. I feel like New Orleans music history, you just if you research it, there's just so many different layers of it. So I really love to go there and see them play every Monday.
Where is BJ's?
It is in the Bywater. It's on Lesseps and Burgundy. Lesseps and Burgundy, yeah.
Great. Good to have you here again. How about you introduce the band and go into a next song?
Oh, sure. Well, we got Casey McAllister over here. He's playing lap steel and keys and singing a little bit. We got Callie Millington on the bass. We found her playing funk music on Frenchman Street. We got David Jameson, our newest member of the family. We've brought him down from New York, and now he's living in New Orleans, where he was born. And we got Yossi Perlstein rocking the turquoise on the fiddle. And then I'm Melinda Lee.
And this is Hurray for the Riff Raff.
I gotta put my head
in the Roadhouse.
And actually, speaking of New Orleans, this is a song all about the Lower Nine. It's kind of my shout out to our buddies in the Deslons, Sam Doors and those boys. This is about living in the Lower Nine and writing songs with them and having a lot of campfires. It's called End of the Line. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Down by the river at the end of the line. Oh,
Hurray for the Riff Raff in the Roadhouse, End of the Line from the new record Small Town Heroes on ATO Records. It's a brand new release. It's great to have you here, Linda Lee Segura, one of my favorite songwriters and people.
Oh, thank you. It's good to be back.
Yeah.
Amongst the stars of KEXP. Yeah.
So what are some of the issues that concern you? I've noticed just from observing and also in your songs, you're not afraid to shy away from issues and what kind of issues do you approach and address either in songs or even in your personal life?
Well, I feel like a major focus of the band has always been that me and Yossi really want to bring a very feminist idea into folk music. I think it's just kind of like the underlining of all of our songs. And we also, we try to bring a queerness into folk music too, which I think is really important right now and really speaks to my generation. Is just kind of, switching gender roles around, changing your ideas of, especially folk music ideas of what the woman's role is, what a man's role is, and just really, making a woman sing a love song to another woman, just really exploring ideas of women loving each other in a lot of different ways. And I think it always comes down to this very feminist idea and feminist just kind of inspiration. I feel like a lot of our inspirations as a band are actually people like Laverne Cox, who's a transgendered actress who is also just an incredible activist. And Audre Lorde. I feel like a lot of our inspirations are actually writers and feminist thinkers, so I try to always infuse our music with that.
And this song, Body Electric, on the new album, is you kind of spinning the murder ballad, the idea of the murder ballad, and kind of looking at it in a different way.
Yeah, I think the amazing thing about folk music is that it can really simplify very complicated ideas, and it makes you really connect with the singer, and you can really connect with people on a human level, and see past a lot of your differences. So with our murder ballad song, The Body Electric, I really wanted to try to take this tradition of these songs that are mostly about killing women and really boil it down to, this is what you're singing about. You can't detach from these ideas anymore. I think our society really teaches us to detach ourselves from each other, and especially our ideas about women. So I really am trying to put the humanity back into these characters that are being killed in these old murder ballads. Bring humanity back into Delia, of Delia's Gone, things like that.
Who are some of your heroes, either in music or outside of music?
Well, definitely, like I said before, Audre Lorde, who's a feminist thinker and writer and activist, who I first read her writing. She's passed long ago, but when I first read her writing, it really inspired me. It was also when I first started writing songs, so it was really great blend of these two ideas, this traditional folk music, banjo music I was learning about, and then her memoirs and her writing that really inspired me. And then, of course, I have a lot of musical heroes, like Townes Van Zandt and John Lennon. John Lennon, for sure, is one of my biggest heroes, just musically and just in the way that he blended this activism with his artwork, so.
Great.
Yeah.
You wrote a song when Tavon Martin was murdered. You wrote a song and released it kind of as a single, very timely
YouTube single.
Yeah. Do you want to do that song now?
Yeah, sure.
It's called Everybody Knows, and this is Hurray for the Riff Raff on KEXP.
I went down to Memphis town, stood right where they shot him down. Oh, and everybody knows what's waiting at the end of the road. And everybody sees, but they don't care to believe. Long ago in Memphis town, streets were filled with a glorious sound, and you can still see an old woman just standing there, magnolia blossom shining in her hair. Oh, and everybody knows what's waiting at the end of the road. And everybody sees, but they don't care to believe. Florida's got the warm sunshine, but the headline breaks this heart of mine. 'Cause now there's a young man running and he don't know why. He just knows that he's been born a bullseye. Well, they say he died 'cause he wore a hood. I guess he can't do it, but the Ku Klux could. Oh, and everybody knows what's waiting at the end of the road. And everybody sees, but they don't care to believe. Well, Memphis got a tale to tell. You can find it at the Lorraine Motel. Oh, and Trayvon, can you hear me now? I wanna help you, but I don't know how. Oh, 'cause everybody knows what's waiting at the end of the road. And everybody sees, but they don't care to believe.
Everybody Knows by one of the brightest new stars in American music, Linda Lee Segura and the band Hurray for the Riff Raff. The new album is out on ATO Records. It's called Small Town Heroes.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me and having us, and thanks so much for playing us on the radio. It's been really helping us out, so thank you.
Our pleasure. Thanks.